Hello, my crafty friends. Well, today I have a double fun fold card that I want to share with you. So this particular fun fold has two different fun fold sections. So I'm going to show you how to create it, and you can create it in two different ways. Hi, it's Lynn Dunn from Stamptastic Designs. Thanks so much for joining me today. In this episode of Stamptastic TV, I have two different fun fold cards that I want to share with you, and they basically feature the exact same design. So this particular fun fold has some accordion style panels that fold out on each side of the fun fold. And then it also has a little flip section in the middle. So it's a fun little design, more like a 3D design, because you can actually stand this card up. It'll stand up by itself. And then I also have the exact same fun fold, except this time I just used this little section in the middle. I just made this section the fun fold card. And I took those side panels and I simply adhered them down to the card front, so that they had a little bit of depth and dimension, but that the only part of the card that moved would have been this fun fold flap. So you have two different ways that you can make this, and I'll show you how to do that. The measurements for both of these cards, for the base of these cards, are exactly the same. So that's the cool part about it. Now, the cards in this video feature the Plain in the Rain bundle from Stampin Up. So the bundle includes a stamp set and a coordinating die set. Now, this particular die set has a variety of different dies in here that cut out the images from the Rain or Shine Designer Series paper. So these little images that I'm using on the card to decorate the card, you can cut those right from the designer paper using the dies. So it's super cool. Okay, so let me show you how to make this card. So I am actually going to show you how to make the card using the adorable little turtle image that is in the designer series paper. I love the daisies and the different colors that are in here. So I thought I would change it up a little bit from this particular card design just to give you some different options. So let me show you how to create the base of the fun fold card. So you're going to start with a 4 1/4 by 11-inch piece of cardstock. And so for this particular card, I'm using Old Olive cardstock. So next you're going to slide the cardstock in so that the 11-inch side is at the top. And you're going to first score it at 1 1/4 inches. So we'll add our first score line here. Then just scoot this over to 1 3/4 inches and add another score line. And then scoot it all the way over to 2 3/4 inches and add another score line. So you should have a total of 3 score lines on the left side of this cardstock. So we're basically just going to flip it around and do the exact same thing on the other side. So we'll start at 1 1/4, 1 3/4, and then 2 3/4 inches. All right, so now we're just going to fold on these score lines, and we're going to create the little accordion section. So first I just kind of folded it in half, and then I just take the next score line and I fold it back onto itself. So I take that whole piece and fold it backwards. And then the third score line, I fold the opposite direction. So it creates a little accordion section here on this side of the card. So that's the first one. And then you just do the same thing on the opposite side. So you just fold on all the score lines. And create an accordion section. So you kind of have like a little 3D effect, a little frame, or what I like to call little panels on each side of the card base. So this will be the base of the card. And so this is the first fun fold section, which is the accordion style. So the second fun fold section is just a little flap that we're going to use right in the center of this card base. So you'll have the little accordion folds, and then you'll have this flip up section. So this is just a 1 3/4 by 8.5-inch piece of white cardstock, and then I just scored it in the middle at 4.25 inches. That way it runs from the top of the card base to the bottom, and it's right in between these little accordion folds. So we will go ahead and just adhere this to the inside of the card here, or I should say to the center. So you just want to kind of hold down those accordion folded sections, these side sections, so that you can line this up in the center of this card base. And then it creates a nice little flip section. So you have your accordion folds, and then you have this flip section. All right, so let's go ahead and decorate this. Okay, so this is what the card will look like after we decorate it. So I'm going to start by adhering some of the pieces of designer paper to the front section of this card. So I just cut 2 pieces of this daisy paper at 1 by 4.25 inches. So these are just going to go on the front panel, and I'm just running it from the top to the bottom and leaving, just a little bit of matting around the edges. So we will adhere 1 to each of these panels. And then these inside panels here, but we're going to add a 3/4 inch wide by 4.25 inches. So we're going to just add it to the outside, and we're going to run it right up to the edge of the card base. And then we'll do the same thing on this side. So this is just the back of the daisies, this particular design. All right, so that's what the front of the card looks like. So the next thing I did is just create 2 circle shapes. So I created this white circle shape is about 2 5/8 in diameter. And so I used the Stylish Shapes dies to create this die cut shape. And then the scallop circle is from the layering circle dies. That's the die that I used to create this. And it's about 2 3/4 inches in diameter. So I cut this from some Mango Melody cardstock. And so basically what I'm going to do is just adhere these 2 pieces together. This is going to become our focal point for our card. So this is just going to go right in the center here. So I'm going to add a couple dimensionals. So I like to add the dimensionals directly to the piece that I'm going to be adhering it to, because this particular piece is not going to be adhered completely to this white cardstock. Some of it will hang over. All right, so we can take the little backing off these dimensionals, and then we can just take our circle shape and add it right to the center of that piece. It just makes it a little easier to add it. Then you don't have to worry about your dimensionals kind of falling off the side of this Mango Melody piece. Okay, so now we are ready to add our focal point. So for this, I just cut one of the little turtles out of the Rain and Shine Designer Series paper, and I'm just going to pop him up with a couple dimensionals and adhere him to the center of the card. All right, so that's the basic design for the front. So for the inside, I just cut some designer paper to decorate it. So I have a 1 5/8 by 4.25 inch piece of just one of the patterns of designer paper from this particular pack. And we'll just flip up our top here. And I'm going to add this to the inside. And I'm just going to kind of scoot it over towards that fold line so that it's not visible when the card is closed. And then I'm just going to add the same size piece on the other side. And then I just have some 3/4 inch wide pieces of that daisy paper. So I'm just going to add those right here. So they're going to come right down the center of this small fold here. So they're 3/4 inch wide and they're 4.25 inches long. So they're the full length of the card. And then I also have some 3/4 inch wide pieces of the daisy paper. So this is like just the back side. this little checkered piece. So these pieces I'm just going to add on the other section here. So I'm not going to cover the entire section. I'm actually just going to go towards the end. And then we'll adhere this one to the other side. Okay, so this is what our fun fold card looks like from the front. So you can flip up this middle section, and then the sides are accordion style, so they just accordion out so that you can see the inside of the card. And you can add as much or as little designer paper as you want to the inside. And then, of course, you can stamp a message or leave this open for a handwritten message. So these just fold back up, and then this comes down. And then it folds flat for mailing, so it's really cool. But this style card also stands up on its own. So if you like to display cards, this is the perfect style to make because it makes kind of like a little 3D look to it, and it'll stand on its own. Now, the other way that you can do this is to simply just adhere these flaps, these accordion fold sections down to the card so that they don't move. And then you just have this one little flap on the inside here that is your fun fold. So you can have a double fun fold or you can have a single fun fold. It's completely up to you. To adhere these pieces, all I did was add some dimensionals to this section, this flap here. And I just pushed it down to the card, and I added a little bit of glue behind here. And that just kind of holds these in place, and it creates this style of card. So it's kind of a fun little card to make because you can make it completely flat with just one flap, or you can make it pretty interactive with these accordion style pieces and then this fun fold piece in the center. Okay, so there you go. Now you have two different ways that you can use this fun fold card idea in your card making. And if you enjoyed these card ideas, feel free to download the printable tutorial. You can find the link in the description below this video. Thanks so much for joining me today. If you enjoyed this video, please let me know by liking it and sharing it with your friends. And leave me a comment below to let me know what you enjoyed most about the video and the card shared here today. Have a fun and creative day, my friends. Take care.